Walking Macau Streets. Dear Lord, show me a sign. Give me a map. Oh yeah.
Okay, we're going to start this one out in Caldeira. Let me just kind of back up a little bit, try to capture the street and how interesting it is, particularly with this green building right here. And if we go down that way, it goes out to the waterfront. Let's check out those balconies too. And then we also go down to, this is Virtudes. And there's some interesting stuff down that way as well, but we're going to be focusing on this particular street, Caldeira. And we're going to walk down towards Rua de Felicidade and towards the waterfront. Okay, so stay tuned. And I'm also going to set it to video first so you can see a highlight with some music, and then we're going to come back and do the walk and talk. Macau, Caldeira Street. I'm going to put it up on the map behind me. And let me give you a little bit of a background of this street. This street would have been in the ocean about 200 years ago. So there was a different coastline, and then about maybe sometime in the 1800s they expanded outward a little bit because of too much silt. So they had a big reclamation program, and they built out a few more blocks into the ocean. And then this street would have been on that street. So so let's go into the names of the street a little bit. It has a Portuguese name, which means like Boiler Street. Caldeira is like Boiler Street. And then the Chinese is, I'm going to mispronounce it, but it's like Penglai, like Penglai Alley. And I'm sorry, I completely mispronounced that. But that basically is like some mythical land in China. That's what I found out when I looked at it in AI. So that's kind of interesting. So maybe, I guess, I don't know, maybe, I'm not really sure. I'm going to guess that maybe it could be because people would come from all over the world, including China, and maybe they just felt like some kind of mythical land that they heard about. So they named that street as that. I don't know. I'm just like throwing stuff out there, you know. And then the Portuguese Boiler Street, when I looked up that was kind of, a lot of times in that time period, they would name a street after the activity that's going on. So maybe that area had a lot of industrial stuff. So maybe because of the ships, there was maybe a lot of blacksmiths, a lot of work with iron, I guess, and things related to whatever it would take to use that would create boiler as, so it's just kind of known for that, I guess. So maybe, I'm gonna guess, maybe ships would come in and that would be the street, or they would work on stuff, I guess. So anyways, kind of interesting, right? A little bit of Portuguese history and Chinese history, possibly, just based on name recognition alone. Anyways, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna do some music where I do the highlights of the street, and it'll be about 2 minutes, and then I'll do the walk and talk where I have the camera and I go down it. So anyway, here we go. Caldeira Street, Macau.
In the heart of Macau, where east meets west, lies a hidden gem, a place of rest. Penglai New Alley, whispers of old, tales of paradise and legends told. Penglai, Penglai, where dreams take flight, in Boiler Lane under the moonlight. Echoes of hammers, the forge's bright flame, in the alley of myths, where history remains. In the heart of Macau, where east meets west, lies a hidden gem, a place of rest. Penglai New Alley, whispers of old, tales of paradise and legends told. Penglai, Penglai, where dreams take flight, in Boiler Lane under the moonlight. Echoes of hammers, the forge's bright flame, in the alley of myths, where history remains. Blacksmiths and boilers, their stories unfold, in the alley where iron and legends are bold. Steam and sparks in the night, they dance, a symphony of labor, a timeless romance. Penglai, Penglai, where dreams take flight, in Boiler Lane under the moonlight. Echoes of hammers, the forge's bright flame, in the alley of myths, where history remains. From the mythical your isle to the streets of toil. Penglai spirit in the worker's soil, a blend of cultures, a tale so grand. To the heart of Macau where we stand. Penglai, Penglai, where dreams take flight, in Boiler Lane under the moonlight. Echoes of hammers, the forge's bright flame, in the alley of myths where history remains. So walk down the alley, feel the past's embrace. In Penglai New Alley, find your place, where myths and metal, history and lore, in Boiler Lane forevermore.
Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to start the process here. It's kind of interesting too, the balconies. And I'm just going to come around and go around the block because I want to kind of go through this a little bit. Then you have another kind of interesting building right here too, which is all these beautiful balconies. So now you have both. So that one also has all the balconies as well. And this one could actually turn into something quite interesting. So, let me step out of the way of that guy. So this one could turn into something quite interesting because this is on the waterfront and they're making a lot of changes to the waterfront. So, okay, so let's kind of go around this building. This is on Travessa de 5 de Octubre. And straight ahead, you can see some restoration happening. Some nice red lanterns there too. I'm just kind of come in here real quick. So we're going to go around and we're going to go down Caldeira. But we also have a lot of other stuff that's interesting here too, like this one. This street actually goes all the way down, and I was actually thinking about filming it because it's about a 25-minute video if I do. But Caldeira is a shorter one, the one that I'm going to go back to. Let me just give you some more context. So we're kind of near the waterfront here. They're doing a lot of construction here because they're building a train line that's going to go through. And they're also doing something to the waterfront over here where it's going to be a completely different setup in ways that aren't quite fully realized yet. It's kind of a cool looking building right there too. You got some nice buildings right in this space. Okay, so we're gonna walk back down this way under the arcade. Actually, we're not too far from an area with like pretty extensive arcades. Now we're back on Virtudes. Now you have our Hotel Hong Kong with the balconies. There's a Thai restaurant right there. That looks new. I don't know if it is new, but it looks new. Okay. So that's this kind of cool one with that nice stair balcony right there. And we're gonna walk all the way down our target street, which is Caldeira. I'm trying to capture the whole feeling of this particular street. The lights are just coming on too. And give you a little more background to it. Caldeira is near the waterfront. And I'll explain that in a second. I'm kind of looking back to see if there's cars behind me or bikes or anything. But basically, we're on what is all reclaimed land. So this is reclaimed from the ocean, So the ocean would have been about 2 or 3 blocks upshore a little bit. Turn out Australia. Star Journal. Wine shop. Another hotel right here. So basically this whole area would have been reclaimed from the ocean, and then they built this out a little bit, and they built like the harbor out. So I think where we're walking now historically would have been in the ocean. And all these streets are were not here during the heavy Portuguese era. So there's our street, Caldeira. Then this one is actually Rua de Caldeira. And if you kind of meander up a little bit, it goes to Rua de Felicidade. So all of this that we're at right now would have all been not here. But up there would have been where all the sailors would have came in. So they would have parked their boats and ships somewhere in this area, and they would have went up. The lights are just coming on here too. Some pretty cool signage. And then straight ahead is Pont 16, which is that big building in the distance. So that's right on the ocean as well. So this is our Caldeira right there. And our Caldeira will continue a little bit further. So we're gonna come around like this. It's also kind of cool, like this building right here has a nice windows. Let them go by first. Right there, so they're doing some scaffolding up there now. Then if you check out this one right here, you got some really cool windows right there. All those little rectangular shaped ones. So basically you have a kind of a handful of hotels in this area. And now we kind of come over to the black and white tiles with the benches. So you can sit in this area. And it's going to come out near the arcade area. San Malo Arcade. So that's going to be where the end of the street's going to come out to. We do have some other little alleys in here as well, which is always interesting. Got a bucket up there. So yeah, this is Travessa de Caldeira. And now we come out to this San Malo Street. And this is just a street with the black and red tiles and an arcade, kind of a rain guard. So that's our target street right there. And then down there, we just go all the way down to the waterfront. It's going to highlight some of it real quick. So some kind of interesting alleys and different stuff. Let's see if I can step out a little bit. So then I'll go all the way down to Pont 16. And on that note, I think I'm just going to end the street. So Travessa de Caldeira. Another slice of Macau. Not too far from the waterfront. There it is. We'll end it right there, I guess.